great. Hope you're having a good week so far. I want to give a shout out and thank you guys for really turning in these assignments and working hard. We appreciate that. I know it's a difficult new situation, but I feel like things are starting to get a little bit better now that we're in the few first weeks of this. So, again, reach out if you have any questions. Let's go over your assignments for reading that's for today on Wednesday, April 8th. So let's look at your checklist. First, you need to log on to Google Classroom, which is where you should be in order to listen and watch this video. You need to click on Flowcabulary. It's going to say sign into your HJ Hawks account, so you need to sign into that. And then it's going to have a link to Flowcabulary where you can watch the video, What is Poetry? And then after that, you need to take the quiz. So this is a must do. You need to do this. If you don't have access to internet and Flowcabulary, in your packet I put just questions and answers to go over. So you need to read over this and answer the questions if you do not have access to the video. You don't have to do this if you're watching the video. This is just if you don't have access to the video. Okay, second, this is also a must do. You need to watch the two videos that are posted here in your Google Classroom over rhyme, rhythm, repetition, and rhyme scheme. Those are different types of elements of poetry that I'll talk about next. And you need to watch those videos. Let's look at the example. So this is what's in your video. This is a poem called From Above by Kell Young Rice. And all we're really looking at, go ahead and read the poem too, but all we're really looking at is the different elements. So first thing to look at is the stanza. What is a stanza? We've already talked about this, but we'll go ahead and talk about it again. A stanza is like a paragraph. So we don't call them paragraphs in poetry, we call them stanzas. So when you see the separation, the break right there, that would be like paragraph 1, so we're going to call that stanza 1. Stanza 2, stanza 3, stanza 4. So this poem has how many stanzas? It has 4 stanzas. Okay? The rhythm is like the beat of the poem. Is it going like this? Is it going really fast? What is the beat? So just like think of music. When you hear music, what is the beat to the music? So in order to have a beat in poetry, the poet uses what they call rhythm, and they use stressed or unstressed syllables. So stressed syllables is basically when your voice goes up, and then unstressed is when it goes down. So that's how you find out the beat of the poem. So for example, this first line here, what? Your voice is going up. So you're going to put that big dash right there on top of it. That's a stressed. It's going up. Do goes down again. So it's unstressed. So you put like a U, almost like an umbrella above it. I, that's really low again too. So that's like a U. That's an unstressed syllable. Care, you hear your voice going up again, so that's a stressed syllable. If, the, those are both low, so it's going to be unstressed. Trees, that goes up again. Are goes down again. Bear goes up again. So listen to that again. What goes up. Do goes down. I care if the trees are bare. So that's how you're hearing the beat. That is what we call the rhythm. Okay? A line is basically like a sentence, but it doesn't have to have a punctuation. So it says, what do I care if the trees are bare? There's no punctuation after that, but that's a line. That's what we call a line. So always when we're looking at poetry and on your STAR test, you would have this numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in this poem, how many lines do you have? Or 12 lines. So you just wait till the start and the finish, and that's one line. Then all the way here to there is another line. So that's how you count the lines of the poem. The rhyme scheme is a little bit trickier. You have to find out what's rhyming. So you're looking at the rhyme scheme, or it's called the rhyme pattern. So for example, you look at like the end line, or you find other words in it. Does air and cark rhyme? No, they don't. So this has an A and this has a B. So if we started from the beginning, bear, the first letter in the alphabet is A. So bear's automatically going to get an A. Does dark rhyme with bear? No, it doesn't. So it gets the next letter in the alphabet, a B, because they do not rhyme together. Gray, does gray rhyme with dark? No, so it's not going to be B. Does gray rhyme with bear? No, it's not going to be A. So you have an A, B, C pattern here. Then you look at the next stanza, air. Air and bear rhyme with each other. So air rhymes with bear, and it's going to get an A, just like bear does. Cark and dark rhyme together, so they're going to get a B. They're going to be in the B group. Way and gray rhyme together, so they're going to get a C. So as you can see, the rhyme pattern is ABC, ABC. That's how you check the rhyme scheme, the rhyme pattern. So these are elements of poetry on what makes a poem, and things that you need to identify in the poem. So once you've looked over those videos, you can check that off. The next thing you need to do is you need to log into your Epic account. Most of y'all have already logged in. A lot of y'all have been reading. I appreciate that. I still want you to meet your 9-week goals. So I've put some books in my assignments that are poetry. You don't have to read all of them, but I want you to flip through one. Find one that interests you. So I put different ones in there because they might not all interest you. So pick a few, and I want you to read a few of those books. Again, not all the books in my assignments, but just a few so you get an idea of poetry. You may continue to browse through poetry. You can even click on, there's a category. You can click on category and you can click on poetry, and it's going to pull up all the other different types of poetry that's there in your Epic program. So I want you to look through different types of poems, read through a few of them. I can check and make sure that you guys are reading, so I really want to see you read a few poems. And then after you do that, you can also listen to a few poems in the YouTube video in Google Classroom of Where the Sidewalk Ends. A lot of you guys really like Where the Sidewalk Ends, so I found a YouTube of the whole book. So it's every single poem, so it's a few little quick poems. So you can kind of skim through it on YouTube, listen to a few of the poems if you'd like. If you don't have access to the internet, if you can't read some books in Epic, or if you can't listen to Where the Sidewalk Ends in YouTube, then in your packet, I put a few different poems. So this is one poem that you may read. Here's another one called Sport you may read. And there's another one from, Where the Sidewalk Ends. That's what's going to be on YouTube, where you can listen to some of the different poems there. So I really want you to look over a few poems. Once you've done that and kind of familiarize yourself with poetry, and pick one that you really like. So you only need one poem. So find a poem that you really like, and I want you to analyze, and I want you to break it down. You're going to do that by using this worksheet. So for the worksheet, you need to put your name up at the top. You need to put a date. You need to put the poem title, which poem you're going to use. Again, it could be anything. It could be a book or poem from your house, just as long as it's something that you want to use. Sorry, went blank. So the poem title, and then the poet's name. So you need to put the author's name, the poet there. Then I want you to look first here, the structure. That's kind of what we just talked about. I want you to tell me, how many verses are there? How many lines are there? How many stanzas are there? And then what's the rhyme pattern? That is it AAB? Is it ABA? Is it ABC? Is it ABCD? So you need to look and see which words are rhyming together. Okay, don't worry about the meter and don't worry about repeated lines. If you want to, you can go a little above and beyond and do those, but just focus on the stuff that we've gone over in the vocabulary video, things we've talked about. I want you to analyze that in the poem that you pick. Then here it says the language. Well, we've already talked about figurative language, personification, simile, metaphor, alliteration, any rhyming sounds. I want you to list that here. Did you find any personification? Did you find any similes or metaphors, a hyperbole? Look for all those things that we talked about last week, and then I want you to list what it is down here. Then I want you to tell me the theme, the author's message, or the main point. Why is the author introducing this poem to us? What is the theme? What is the whole thing about? Then the mood. In poetry, there's a lot of expression of feelings. So I want you to talk about what are the feelings and emotions of the poem. Is it sad? Is it happy? Is it a kid going through a really hard challenge? Talk to me about that mood and that tone. Okay, so once you finished analyzing your poem, this is what is due. So you must upload this to Google Classroom or send it to us, a picture of it in Dojo or email. And if you don't have access to print this, or if you can't do it online, you can always just kind of write your stuff down on a blank piece of paper and submit it that way. So we're pretty flexible, but just get this to us. Okay, so that's your full checklist for the week, and then you can continue, for the week and for this day. You can continue to go on and read more poems if you'd like. Other than that, that finishes your lesson for this week for April 8th. And again, if you have any questions, just feel free to message us, and we're here for you guys. Still missing you, and hang in there. Talk to you soon. Bye.